chance to be an oddball with any group of people. Now, my message is going to be just a little different than this. But the head man here, and he can't be too hard on me because he and my buddy over here, Bill, Frank, Frank and Bill, we were in the same outfit and fought the 4 battles together. We're just like brothers. It's good to see them again. He told me, he said, now you've got about, first he started with about 5 minutes. He said, no, I think you better cut it to about 4. And then the rascal, the last time I said, now tell me for sure how long, he said, could you make it about 3? So I'm coming at you with a little different message. And I feel like I've asked the Lord what He would have me to tell you. It probably will be the last time some of us will ever meet again here in fashion as this. And I have an idea that I have the right message. I've asked the Lord to give it to me. I think I have it. I hope I have. Now, it don't pull my coattail if I go a minute more. I spent some 30 years in the post office department after I got out and went to work. You'll wonder until I get cranked up good, where am I coming from? I feel like maybe there's someone here that could have flashbacks, or you could have dreams about the battle. I think we all had some of that at first. In the event, some of you still have nightmares and flashbacks of being in battle, then this message is to you. First of all, on my route, a gentleman I knew for many years, he said the World War II veteran. He knew I was a World War II, he was a World War I. He knew I was a World War II veteran. And he said, let me tell you something that happened to me years and years ago. I said, all right. He said, I was sent out as a scout to scout out some of the German armies that we would be coming against. And he said, I looked around and I spotted this serviceman, this German, I don't know what rank he had, but I got the drop on him. And he said, I just didn't want to shoot him. I just wanted to cut his head off. And he said, I grabbed him and reached around and I pulled out my knife, and he said, I had a time, sure enough, cutting this guy's head off. And he said, blood ran down the sleeves of my jacket. And he said, I finally cut off his head. And there was an old stump there. And he said, I took that head and placed it on that stump. And I started back to my camp. And he said, I turned around to make one final look at this guy. And he said, this head laughed at me. And he said, every night since that night, this head has haunted me. And I said to myself, it should have. You could have shot the guy. But he said, every night, not one or two, this head comes back to haunt me. Now, maybe some of you have some flashbacks. I don't know. But I'll tell you how it worked with me when I got out. I was raised an orphan. I never went to church. Never wanted to go to church and didn't have any clothes anyway to go to church. So I married a little Christian girl, went back after I was discharged, went back into the classroom and finished high school and finished it with her. And I just decided I'd marry her because she was real pretty. And she got me to go to church with her. So I did. So I'd have done anything for that dog, baby. And so I'd never been in church much. So the preacher preached that night, and who you reckon he preached to? Me. Well, I felt like I don't know, I felt a little on the rough side. But anyway, the altar call was given. Now, some of you don't have maybe that in your churches, but we did. And I went down to an altar to pray. And I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I feel conviction, under conviction. I don't know exactly what to say, but I'm just going to do the best I can. And that's all He expects of any of us. But He showed me something maybe He's never shown you. I was under a heavy burden. He showed me every one that I killed. And it was just like I was looking at a huge wall, 15 feet long, 8 feet tall. And in the middle of this wall was a TV screen. And He showed me every one that I killed. This one, these, and this one, and this one. And when He got to the end, I said, Lord, it was kill or be killed. And I didn't want to kill anybody, but in battle it's somewhat different. So I said, would you please forgive me for that? And He did. And I have never, never, never dreamed about it. And if any of you have flashbacks, or you're still having trouble sleeping because of what we saw and what we went through, talk to me after this is over, and I think I can tell you what to do. There's one little thing I want to leave with you now. Don't pull my coattail. There's one little poem I want to leave with you. I think my time's about up. But I was asked to read this to a young group many, many years ago. So I just said, well, I'll just try to memorize it. And it's meant a lot to me down through the years, and I hope that you like it. It goes something like this. It takes a little muscle, it takes a little grit, a little true ambition with a little bit of wit. It's not the biggest things that really count, that make the biggest show. It's the little things that people do that make this old world go. A little bit of smiling, a little sunny chat, a little bit of encouragement to some comrade who's drifting back. No, it's not the biggest things that really count, that make the biggest show. It's the little things that people do that make this whole world go. It takes a kindly action, it takes a word of cheer to fill a life with sunshine and to drive away a tear. No, it's not the biggest things that really count, that make the biggest show. It's just the little thing that people do that make this whole world go. Nor is it the biggest or the bigger things that people try to acquire. It's just those little things that we do every day make us what we are. Thank you.